Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As for my ever interest in black and white filters for black and white film photography, I'm going to go out today with my 35mm Chinon CE5 camera and a roll of Kentmere 400, and I'm going to be playing around with some filters. You can see I've got my filters here, got my yellow, orange, red and my green, and like my last video, I was just saying, you know, that I want to try and get used to these filters and see what they do, and the only way to do that is to get out and shoot them and get used to them and know individually what they do. So today outside it's quite a nice day. There's some blue sky going on with some nice clouds. That'll be ideal for me to try out the yellow and especially the orange and red. And then I'm going to get into the woods and play around with the green filter and see what that does. Now I've chose these filters. I do have filters for this camera, for this lens, but not a green one. So I've decided to use these ones that I use for my medium format. And on a tripod with a cable release, each shot I'm going to take one shot without the filter and then one shot with. I'm just going to literally place it over like so and hit the cable release. For once, I'm not going to be going into my darkroom afterwards. I'm going to scan these images using my DSLR, scan the negs, put them on the computer and show you guys the differences afterwards. I've got this little Kentmere 400 film from the photographic shop up the road because I've run out of pan film. So I went in the photographic shop. I was trying to get some 120, they didn't have any. So I ended up with some pan 400. And if you haven't seen this Chinon CE5 camera before, I bought this about a year ago. I've got a video on it, and it was on the Facebook local marketplace, and the geezer turned up with a box. It was 50 quid. I've got the original lens for this Chinon, but I've put on here a Pentax SMC lens, a 50mm lens, cracking lens that is. So I'm just literally going to be keeping it simple, shooting one camera, one lens, and just those three filters and that film. And like I said, afterwards I'm going to come back, I'm going to DSLR scan them. I won't be going in the darkroom, and I'll show you guys the differences with my scans afterwards. Okay, so I haven't brought my light meter out with me. I'm just using the camera's internal meter, which appears to work pretty well for me. And if you're wondering what this is on my tripod, it's a bolt. I've lost the, well, I didn't lose it, it cross-threaded the screw to tilt and pan and stuff. It cross-threaded, so I've shoved a bolt in there. So when that blue sky finally comes over, I'm going to take one shot as normal, and then I'm going to go from yellow, orange and then red. I need to allow one stop overexposed for yellow, two stops overexposed for orange, three stops overexposed for red. And the way I'm going to do that is by using the shutter, not the aperture. Shot one. Yellow filter, 60th of a second. Orange filter with two stops. Red filter with three. And lastly, the green filter with two. Sun's just gone back in, has it? I might be lucky. Done. Okay, so I played around enough now with the yellow, the orange and the red and the green. I didn't really need to on these scenes, but now I'm going to just use the green filter and see what differences I can get. Sorry, the green and the yellow filter, see what differences I get with foliage, you know, some green shit. Let's have a look. So I've got 1/25 of a second, 5.6. I love this sort of photography sometimes, just using the camera's internal meter, you know, if it works correctly. It's just simple stuff. 1/25 done. Green filter on, two stops exposure. And then the yellow filter, which is one stop. Done. Before I carry on, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get a notification next time I post a video. Cheers! Now this is quite pretty, this little tree, it's got this little, all this green shit on it, all this mossy stuff. So back then I was shooting f5.6, I was quite close on them. I like probably a little bit of shallow depth of field on that. This one I don't want that, so I'm going to close the aperture down. F11 will do, that will get most things in focus on that tree. And that's giving me a shutter speed of 1/30th of a second. That's cool. F11, 15th of a second. It's just going to start raining, so these might be a bit screwed up. Green filter, 2 stops. Try and pull this out quick. Done. Yellow filter, 1 stop. Oh, finished. Matt is going to poke my eye out one of these days. I've got to sort that out. Everyone's out. I've left George on his own, bless him. He don't like because he's only got one eye, and that ain't too clever. He's he gets the ump when we leave him, and he'll probably leave me a little trophy indoors just to show his disgusting me leaving him on his own for an hour. He's a lucky dog. I'm always at home with him, or someone's always with him. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I told you I'd come back, didn't I? Here you go. I know. Yeah. Yep, I'm back. You're full. Good boy. Yep. 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 Let me take my shoes off. Good boy. So after I sorted George out and given him a biscuit, I developed the negatives in Rodianl 1:25, and then I scanned them using the DSLR, and here they all are here. I'll just show you the differences. So we'll start off with the first scene. This is without the filter on the left and with the yellow filter on the right. I can't really see a great deal of difference, just a slight, maybe a slight popping in the sky. Other than that, I can't see much difference at all. If anything, I would just say it's just got a little tiny bit more contrast in the whole scene. I certainly can't see anything that's been lightened up at all in this particular scene. Let's look at the orange filter. I can start seeing differences now. The contrast seems to be popping a little bit more on that scene with the orange filter. It looks a bit more pleasing than without the filter. You can certainly see it in the sky, in the trees in the background, and also down below the image you can see there's not as much detail in the shadows as without the filter, but to me it still looks a more pleasing image with that orange filter. And then we go to the red. You know, just a step up from the orange really, losing more detail in the bottom of the shadow areas, but it's still there. But there is bags more detail in the sky. It's just made the sky pop a bit more, separation between the cloud and the blue sky there. And also the trees in the background, you can see a bit more contrast in between the branches and the trunks of those trees. And also on the right hand side I can see a bit more contrast as well. So the red and the orange I think are winning for that scene. And then we go over to the green filter. That seems to have darkened everything down. It's kind of kept detail in the sky quite pleasing, but then as we come down to the bottom of the image, it's totally lost any shadow detail. There's hardly anything there. It just looks a bit contrasty down the bottom, so that's certainly not my favourite filter for that scene now. The next scene, which was the bridge, so again on the left no filter, on the right we've got the yellow filter. That seems to have popped a bit more contrast up in the sky for us. But this scene, the sun was halfway through, it started to go behind cloud. So I'm really going to write this scene off, but I'll go through them anyway. So that's the yellow filter on the right hand side. Seemed a little tiny bit lighter, but then I don't know if the sun got a bit more intense there. That's the orange filter. That's with the red. And that's with the green, completely dark there. But again, I don't know if the sun had started to go behind a cloud and make the scene less brighter. So I'm going to skip that scene and go on to the next one. So this is our next scene on the waterfall. On the left is no filter, right is yellow filter. It looks a whole lot lighter, this scene, with the yellow filter, if I can be honest. The white water certainly looks a little bit lighter. Shadow detail as well. So I could say the yellow filter on this one seems to have brightened things up. That's the orange filter. Hasn't done much. There wasn't no blue in the sky at all. That sky was quite grey. If anything, I'd say the orange filter's just popped a little tiny bit more contrast, you can see in the background, and also on the stone, on the concrete as well, on that bridge. The red filter, and again, it's just started to now lose shadow detail, and the green filter has completely lost the plot. And this one here, you can see the leaves that I took a shot of. That's unfiltered on the left again. On the right hand side is the green filter. I thought that was meant to give good separation and lighten up foliage. I don't know what happened there, but it seems a lot darker than unfiltered, which is quite interesting. And then I used the yellow filter, and that seems to have done the trick of lightening everything up and getting some more information on the image in the shadow areas by the looks of it. So, but the green filter, go back to that, don't know what happened there. And the same again with the tree, that's unfiltered on the left, on the right is the green filter. That had a load of moss on that tree, a load of green moss, but again on the green filter it just seems to have just darkened everything down and made it a lot more contrasty. And that's with the yellow filter, that seems to have brightened it all up. And actually the yellow filter looked a bit more pleasing, I would say, on that particular scene. Seems to have held the highlights a little bit better in the sky from what I can see. But other than that, I can just see that that's pretty much just lightened it up, giving the appearance of maybe a bit more popped contrast than without filter. And the last one, I only had 24 frames of film in the camera. The last one on the left again was without filter, and the right is with the green filter. Again, the green filter just seems to have darkened everything down for that scene. Interesting. So that was different, making a video without going in a darkroom for once. I'm not really a scanner, you know, but there's a lot of people out there that do scan and haven't got darkrooms. So, you know, if you haven't got a darkroom, this may appeal to you. Your scanning might be far better than mine. But, you know, to me, I'm just practicing around with these filters and trying to get my head around using them and working with them in the future. The green one's not really on my list for practicing with. I already use the oranges and reds for when I'm doing seascapes and landscapes, just to pop skies, but it's still interesting to practice with them. It's the yellow one that I'm trying to get my head around and trying to get used to, and I've been playing around with it quite a lot lately when I've been shooting film, and I've noticed it just pulls a little tiny bit more contrast out and can make scenes or shadow detail areas a little tiny bit brighter. That's from the experience I've got so far. I've still got many more practices to do with these filters, you know, before I can really start judging them. But as for the green, I was really surprised. I thought that was supposed to lighten foliage, as I call it. I thought it was supposed to lighten green stuff, you know, in the woods and all that. But in my experience today, it seemed to have darkened it. Now, I gave this 2 stops of exposure. Maybe it needs 3. It certainly didn't lighten any foliage up for me when I was doing my shoots today. So let us know in the comments what you think about the green filter. Obviously it's there for a reason. People love it, people use it for a particular reason. I probably completely butchered it on this time round, but you know. So that's really surprised me. I really did think the green filter was going to lighten up my green stuff out there, but it didn't. But I guess that's all to do with learning these things, practicing with them, and seeing how they fit in with your photography. Like I keep saying, you can read as much as you like about these filters, but unless you go out and start shooting them in your own environment, in your own little world, that's the best way to practice and the best way to learn and the best way to know when to use them at the right moment for your photography. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did watch till the end, thanks for all the support that I've had this year, and have a Merry Christmas, have happy holidays, whatever you're up to. Be safe, enjoy yourselves, and I'll catch you next time. Hello. Yeah, you're right. Very festive. Weird shit everywhere. What's I saying?